Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Stephanie from Lumeria Star, and today what I wanted to do is go through the decks I worked with in August. So this is reflective of my Lumeria Star Tarot edit, which I started over on Instagram. So for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, you can find me over there at Lumeria Star. And basically the tarot edit is just a hashtag I kind of created for myself. I want to say maybe it's like 4 years ago now. And every month I decide which decks I want to use. I snap a photo and I share it, and it's just like a nice way for me to kind of like figure out what set of decks I'm using for the month. I have a pretty diverse and wide variety of decks. So, you know, rather than experience like deck paralysis of like what to use, it's just a nice way of saying like, hey, here's the 6 or 8 decks I'm working with for the month, and that's what we're going to use. So if you want to use it moving forward, just use the hashtag Lumeria Star Tarot Edit. You can use it on YouTube or over on Instagram, and I can find what you're using. So that's kind of my story. But anyway, this video is really just going to be my August deck collections and reflections, what worked, what didn't, and things like that. So let's just get into it. The first deck I wanted to look at is my Moonchild, and I just always love how much this bag match just really makes me happy. I got this one custom made on Etsy because the box is pretty big and I wanted to keep it in the box just because it's so beautiful. But yeah, the Moonchild, I have been pretty vocal about how much I love this deck, and I notice I really like to break this deck out. Every year on my birthday, I always do a birthday reading that always feels significant. Obviously, it's my solar return. So I use this deck every year on my birthday to give me a message. So this year was no different. My birthday is August 4th. So that had just passed. That's about a month ago now. And this deck always gives me the clearest messages. This deck just gets me. I just love it so much. So it's always a joy. I always tend to break this out in August. That's just maybe because it's my birth month. That's just what I like to do. I don't use this deck all the time, surprisingly, as much as I love it. And I think maybe that makes it feel a little bit more special, I guess. I guess that's kind of the thought process in my head. And I am a fan of Danielle Noel's artwork, and I think she really did such a great job with the Moonchild, with the vintage photographs. And this deck obviously has such more of an earthy feel as opposed to the Starchild tarot decks, which I also have and I enjoy, but this one really does it for me. I actually hope she creates a deck in the future that is even a bit darker than this one. Like a shadow work deck perhaps would be really awesome. So yeah, I love this deck, and I was really happy to work with it. So this deck is always a win for me. It never disappoints. So this is the Moonchild Tarot by Danielle Noel. All right, so let's put that off to the side. So the next deck I use kind of with the Moonchild is this mega deck that I've put in kind of a similar matching bag. So this is kind of 2 decks in one. So this is both the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel, as well as the Star Seed Oracle. I did take out a few cards when I combined them because I felt like some of them just weren't resonating. I actually got the idea originally from Dawn Michelle from Boho Tarot, and I loved what she did. So I combined the decks. So I'm using it as is right now. I then saw a video from Dani from Dani Mystic, and she took, I think it was it just the Work Your Light, or maybe she had both, but she had cut off the bottoms, so like all of this, and kind of stamped on her own keyword, and I thought that was kind of brilliant. So I might try that. That might be a mod, a creative mod I do maybe in the winter. I feel like I'm going to save a lot of my mod projects for the winter when we're kind of like stuck inside and it's dark and cold out and there's nothing to do. I think that'd be a great time to do some of these projects. Like while it's still warm out, I'm probably going to be outside as much as I can. But I think that could be a really nice project to do with this deck, because some of the keywords do really resonate and some of them don't, which was always my kind of block with this deck. Like high wraith, I think that's how you pronounce it. Like that word doesn't mean anything to me. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. Like I could use the word longing, I could use the word homesick, but like that keyword throws me off. So I could, you know, for some of these, cut these off and like stamp it on. I love the way Dani Mystic did it. So that's an idea that I am toying around with because I love the way hers came out. But regardless, I do love this mega deck that I created. This always pairs really nicely with the Moonchild. And yeah, I love it. I do think I could take it to the next level. So it might have to happen, maybe some edging. I've had the Work Your Light for a while, so the edges of that have yellowed. I got it when it very first came out, and it was an Oracle, one of the only Oracle decks I had, so that it got a lot of use. So yeah, that's an idea for this deck. So this was also a win, but I think this can be taken to a new level. So that is a TBD on when that deck mod is going to happen, but I think it is going to happen. So I'm going to put that on my list for winter creative projects. So that is the Work Your Light and the Starseed Oracle. Okay, so another deck I worked with in the month of August is the Moon Witch Oracle. So I use that along with the Moon Void Tarot 3rd edition, which I will show separately. But these two I've found pair so nicely together. You know what? Maybe I'll just show, yeah, let's just show some pairings. I feel like these decks really do a nice job just talking to each other. They've kind of found like a voice together. So now I really like to work with them together. They just seem like this pair that were meant to be, at least for me. So let's kind of put these. So I like to have the Oracle as kind of like the anchor card to anchor down the reading, and then the Tarot to kind of fully expand. So I just think they look so nice together. It's feminine, but it's dark and a bit witchy. I don't know, they just vibe. Yeah, these two are like a home run pair for me. So I enjoy them greatly. So let's take a look at the Moon Void, or not the Moon Void, the Moon Witch a little bit closer. This is one I found on Etsy, and it's beautiful. It's got white back, surprisingly, since the cards are like black backgrounds. They have a little bit of this gold foil, which is lovely, and they're super witchy. So we have some goddesses in here. We have different keywords, moonflower, and I like how there's a little like phrase at the bottom. So sign, if you're looking for a sign, here it is. They also have the moon phases. So this is last quarter, what's holding you back. I think that alone you can work with a lot without a guidebook. Other phrases, mirror, mirror, transformation, Diana. So we have more goddesses, true north, vision. I just think this is a really lovely deck to work with. And I've never worked with this deck and not gotten the message I needed to hear. So it's just a really fun one. I think it's feminine, it's soft, but it's dark and witchy. So that tends to be an aesthetic I'm drawn to. Again, we've got all the moon phases, Kali. And it's just so lovely. And the Lilith, there's a yes card. There's also a no card. We've got Freya, witch's hat. Here's the no, the number 13. Yeah, so this deck is awesome, and the way it works so nicely with Moon Void is, I just love them together. So if you happen to have both and you haven't tried the pairing, give it a go, because I love it. They really communicate well for me. So that's the Moon Witch Oracle cards, and pairing that with my Moon Void Tarot, which this has quickly become a favorite. The Moon Void First Edition used to be my favorite, which I would call a soul deck, but now I think this one is. This is the deck I first used when I was able to connect to my spirit guide, which was my cat growing up, Skittle. The messages were coming in so strong. It was actually pretty freaky and weird. So this deck is just a sharpshooter for me. It tells me, there she is. There's my cat, Skittle. This deck is no bullshit, but it doesn't deliver the message. It doesn't feel like a punch in the face message. It delivers it no bullshit, but it's also kind and tactful when it does it. So I feel like it's the equivalent of a friend who will always have your back and will tell you the truth, but she's not tacky about it. She's not going to punch you in the face. She's not going to be rude about it. She's just going to be like, hey, I love you, and this is what's up. And this deck always reads like that for me. So I appreciate that. So this is another deck along with the Moon Child deck that I go to when I want no nonsense serious answers. So this is just amazing. Even if you feel like the artwork is simplistic, do not underestimate it at all. So I love this deck. And then I do have to sing the praises for this guidebook, and I will show you in a minute. Put this back in. So this guidebook is awesome. I just love this guidebook that Stephanie Capone created, who is the creator of the deck. I always say I really need to do some of these spreads. I always forget. You know what? Maybe I'll leave this out before I put this away. I have been doing a lot of inner child work, so maybe I will try this spread before I put it away. But anyway, I feel like this guidebook particularly is really great for beginners, but also for seasoned readers too. I do feel like I'm pretty proficient in tarot, but oftentimes when I'm reading for myself and so stuck in the issue or the problem, I have a hard time getting messages, which is why I rely on guidebooks when I read for myself, because it's almost like someone doing a reading for me, when I can't access my own answer. Her write-ups in this guidebook are really clear, but they're so, what's the word I'm looking for? They always deliver the message that I need to hear, that I wouldn't have got to that without the guidebook. Even though I know these cards really well, she just has a way of interpreting the cards that maybe I wouldn't have done. And I'm like, wow, that was really helpful. So when I use the Moon Void, I use this guidebook a lot. So I love this set so much. So this has been another win for me this month. So Let me put that off to the side. All right, so next, which was another win. Like August was a deck of August was a month of huge wins for me deck-wise. Moon Baby Tarot. This is gotta be one of my favorite Rider-Waite-Smith clones, or you know, just the Rider-Waite-Smith being recolorized. I love everything about this funky 70s style deck. Everything about the colors, everything about the font style and the artwork is so retro. And I love it. I love the way the cards feel in my hands. And I know, I think the second edition just came out too with the orange box, which is the most current Kickstarter. I didn't get it just because I know the cards are pretty much I believe they're the same. I think maybe the backs are different colors, but I really love the backs. Since none of the artwork was changed, I didn't feel a need to get it, so I didn't get it. But I'm happy to see that people in the tarot community are getting their copies. I'm really excited to see what it looks like. But yeah, this deck is a constant win for me. This is one that usually doesn't get tucked away after I use it. Like a lot of my decks, because I have so many, I'll tuck them away and they come out like the following season. This one usually stays out. I use this a lot for quick reads. I use this a lot for when I do tarot readings virtually or online. I use this also for in-person events and readings like that because it's such a quick and easy reader. People are familiar with the artwork. So, you know, people who are familiar with tarot really like to see classic imagery that they are familiar with. So when I do readings in person or virtually, I like to always have a Rider-Waite-Smith base deck as one of the options because people really appreciate that. And honestly, this color palette, it just does it for me. These like hot pinks and oranges and purples and baby blues, like, yes, love it, love it, love it. So this is a win for me. I love my Moon Baby. Love my Moon Baby so much. So that's a win. This will continue to stay out. I have another event coming up. I'm filming this like the first week of September as I do my August reflections. I have a tarot event a goddess event actually, later in the month to celebrate autumn equinox or Mabon. And I will be reading tarot there. So I will be bringing my Moon Baby Tarot. So for anyone local, I live in New Jersey at the beach. I will be there with that deck. All right, so the next deck, this one was new to me. And I've since put it in this cute little ghosty bag from Coffee with the Fool. So it's not in the box. So I'm gonna show you the deck if I can open this bag. Like how cute is this bag for this deck? I can't get over it. Okay, so this is the adorable Boo Tarot. So this is by Celia Melisville. So she's the creator of the Tarot Renard, which is the deck with the foxes. There's a couple, I want to say there's a few other decks she's done. So I don't have any other decks, but I do love ghosts and anything spooky and Halloween, especially when spooky and cute kind of like intersect. I also love that aesthetic. So this obviously matches the bill. So this is literally all ghosts in this adorable art style. There's little pumpkins everywhere. There's little hearts. I mean, look at the Two of Cups. Like these are two ghosts in a little cauldron, like hot tub. Like that's adorable. So I love this deck so much. In the Major Arcana, the ghosts, I don't know if you can see it with the light. Let's see if you can see. The ghosts are actually like this glitter foil finish, and that's only in the majors. The minors don't have that, which kind of makes them feel a little extra special. Like here's the star. Let's see if we can you see that? There you go. So this deck is just adorable. This is another deck that I'll probably use all year round because I tend to like spooky things all year, but some of my Halloween decks, like, I don't know, they just don't feel like they fit in all year. But this one, because it's ghosts, but it's also like, I don't know, it's like springy. It could be used for summer. I just think this is a deck that can be used all year. So look at this, the World Pumpkin Spice Everything Nice. Freaking cute. Oh, I can't with this deck. I mean, I can. I love it. I really love it. This could also be a really great inner child deck now that I'm thinking about it, because I've been doing so much inner child work and I've been using my my Cute Cat Tarot because it kind of scratches the itch of that like kawaii art style, that like Hello Kitty art style. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering if I should leave this out and try to do some inner child work with this, because this reminds me of just like children's books, and even like this also reminds me of like greeting cards too. This artwork, I love this Three of Cups, these ghosts having a party around the cauldron, like this little coven of ghosts. It's so cute. Yeah, this deck is so cute. I don't know any other word to use other than cute. But it also makes me really happy. Maybe I will. Maybe I'm going to use that. Do you see the glitter there? Let's see. Yeah, I think you can see it there. I think I'm going to try using this deck with that inner child spread in the Moon Void guidebook. So that's what I'll do. And I'm not going to put this deck away because I think this is kind of a all around, what am I trying to say? All year rounder kind of deck. I also think this would be a great deck to use for client readings because it is so Rider-Waite-Smith based. So yeah, that is the Boo Tarot. Really happy this is new to my collection. And oops, I forgot to put it back in the bag, but I'll do that later. Okay, so lastly is this lovely deck. So this was a treat I purchased for myself as a birthday gift since my birthday was in August. So this is something I randomly found on Instagram. I don't see a lot of people who have it. It's just called the Tarot, but I think people have been calling it the Caitlin Madison Tarot, who's the artist. So this deck is very like maximalist. The cards are definitely larger. This is like larger than Oracle size. Let me see if I can do a comparison. We've got the Moon Void Tarot right here. So this is standard tarot size. And you can see the difference in sizes. So it's quite bigger. So it's not an easy deck to handle, but the artwork is, it's just rad. I don't know what other word to use. Like, you'll see it. So her artwork is just like very maximalist. It's bold, it's colorful, it's got a lot going on, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. It feels very fierce. I believe everyone in this deck is feminine presenting, I think. But there's just like, there's so much going on. There's so much detail. I think this artwork also kind of gives me like a 70s art aesthetic. That, again, I've noticed I really enjoy. So surprise, surprise. Yeah, it's just so cool. Now I'm curious if there are any, this is a cool strength card too. Are there any male people in here? Let's see if I can find a king. Oh, okay, here's a dude right here in the Ten of Cups. That's a really pretty card. Page of Cups. Like, these are all so good. It's a very art deck, and that's why this was a little bit pricier, but I was like, oh, I want it, and this is a gift to myself. Oh, here we go. So we do have a male presenting person as the king. You've got Kali for death, which is perfect. Yeah, this artwork is just cool. It's beautiful. There's a lot of intricate detail, a lot of like symbolism I think you can kind of like dig into, a lot of different places you can go. I think this is the kind of deck too that like I wouldn't pull more than 3 cards. Like if anything, I'd prefer 2 or 1 and just really sink into that image. I think any more than that and it might feel a bit busy. Actually, let's see. Let's pull a couple cards and just lay them out. I'm going to do, so shuffling this, I kind of have to like just overhand it like this because it is pretty large and a bit bulky. But I knew that. I knew the card size and I knew what I was getting into. So I was aware it wasn't like standard tarot size. So let's just see what it looks like if I were to do a reading. 6 of Wands, beautiful. 9 of Wands. Like I think that's a nice message in itself. If we did 3 would be my max. Ooh, lots of Wands. A lot of fiery energy. Yeah, I think 3 cards would be my max with this deck because it's just a lot of detail, a lot of line work, a lot of color. But these women are like really fierce. Let's do 3 more. I didn't get enough time with this deck, I will say. I'll probably have to leave this one out too. Are these in order? No, they're not. King of Wands. The Emperor. Ooh, I like that Emperor. I didn't even notice him. And the Fool. I actually like an old and wiser Emperor. I appreciate that. That's really cool. Yeah, I love this deck. I didn't use it as much as I wanted to, but I'm really, really happy with this purchase, and I'm gonna continue working with this on its own. I don't think this will be tucked away for long. So yeah, these are the decks I've worked with for August. So we've got the Caitlin Madison Tarot, we've got the Boo Tarot, we have the Moon Void Tarot, and Moon Baby, and Moon Witch. So there was definitely a theme of moon decks here. And we've got the Moon Child. So I hope you all enjoyed this video of just kind of like my reflections of what I worked with in August. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Do you have any of these decks? Do you want them? Do you connect with them the same way I do? Would just love to hear all your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you liked this content, please give it a like. If you haven't, please subscribe. I love when I get people to subscribe to my channel since I'm a pretty new channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Lumeria Star. And I also have a Patreon of the same name, Lumeria Star. Come join the coven. And over there, I create different, tarot content, tarot spreads, journal prompts. We have tarot lessons. I do all my giveaways over there. And other cool stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.